Welcome to Progressive Mindset Podcast. My name is Natalie Potts, Business Development Coach and Mentor, and each week I'll be bringing you an inspiring personal message to help you unlock creating and living a life full of energy, action, impact and happiness. And today I'm going to share with you how to inspire others to success. So this has come about in this week when I was asked, what do you want to be known for? And don't get me wrong, I've been asked this before, but it was that kind of mic drop moment of absolute blank. And I was opposite this person and I was like, wow. And I was like, right. And I took like a minute thinking about this. And you know that awkward silence you get in a room? I felt that. Like it felt like 5 minutes, but I think it was like 60 seconds. Anyway, it took me back to a time a couple of years ago when I was working with a master coach around leadership. And it was all in a project I was doing at the time about developing as a leader and how I became very visible. I was kind of bouncing ideas around a role that I was in, whether I wanted to go for director, and I was unsure. And I had to work with this coach on focusing about how to develop around my drive, the impact and the influence and how I came across and almost how I landed really well with my actions in what I did and how I led people. So I got to thinking about how do I really get the most out of working with a master coach? Because master coaches they ask some phenomenal questions. They're direct, they're spot on, they listen well, they've got great coaching skills. So I said that I wanted to focus on 6 core skills that I felt were essential to a leader, and I wanted them to resonate through my behaviours and my actions. Okay, so that was that. So that was my goal for 9 months, and that is all I worked on. So we met every 3 weeks because 2 weeks didn't seem enough for this because I was really wanting to get some traction, get some feedback, and really take time genuinely looking at what I was doing. And I was also conscious that, like they say, habits is 21 days or 66, whatever, actually, because I think a habit is about building it. If you read Atomic Habits, it doesn't actually just sit at 21 days. So give yourself a break and just be productive in working on something and trying to better yourself and change things, and being more aware is what's going to change your habits. So I got to thinking about what are those 6 core leadership skills. And for me, they were honesty, empathy, because I've been told I wasn't empathetic enough, being a great listener, because being a great listener to me meant being patient, humble in my work ethic, energetic, because that's what everybody said they saw in me when I asked for feedback. Pretty much everybody loves that, like that zest and energy of life. So I was like, okay, great. And my passion for what I did, and authenticity. So being authentic, and that meant me showing up and the shadow that I cast across the people that I led, and being true and honest, not only to them but for myself. And part of that meant actually sometimes bringing yourself to the table, to work, to your business, whatever, and showing that true vulnerability, not putting on a performance of someone that you're not. Granted, sometimes when you're a leader, you have to have what I call a swan effect, where if you're not quite feeling it, you rocking up and leading a team and not quite feeling it or being negative or down for the day isn't going to rock that team into taking action and having a great day. Sometimes you have to put on a little bit of what I say, this theatre and a drama performance. But I think you can do it in an authentic way in terms of, I'm really not feeling it today. It's been a really tough morning, but it's going to be a crap day. Let's know it's a crap day. We'll make tomorrow amazing, but let's just get through today and work together. And how do we do this as a team, guys? I think you can do an energetic spin with positivity, but also show a real transparency and vulnerability in how you lead as well. And then also try and have some fun with that. And often, like anything, it's like getting up in the morning, isn't it? Sometimes we can feel really rubbish. And actually, after a little bit of time and just getting up and doing it, we feel better. Sometimes just taking those steps forward and just giving it a little bit more energy, giving it a go and going with others makes us feel better. We've just got to take those first few steps. So authenticity was a big thing to me. And then I kind of got thinking this week, I was like, well, what can I share on a podcast this week? And I was thinking about that, inspiring people to success. And then I thought about the fact that I never really share the answers to the questions that I ask people when they come as guests. And I'm always really quite specific on who's a guest. It's someone that I want, that I trust, that I know is built a great relationship with myself, that I see is very probably like ironically, the qualities that I'm seeing, that I want them to be great listeners. I want them to be really energetic, positive, authentic, and honest in the way I see them in their business, because I think that they could add value, but also something different to what I offer. So, and it's true, isn't it, when they say that saying, we like people like us. So I then got thinking, right, well, I'm going to answer those 5 questions that I put out to them, because I think it's really important as well that I share my story. And I get really downhearted at times when people say, when you're putting out a business and marketing everything, it's not about you, it's about them. Absolutely, of course it is. But our stories connect us. And everybody who has inspired us in life has inspired us because they've shared their story of what they've done. It's not about the fact they've written, said they've shared an amazing PowerPoint and bullet by bullet that inspired me, or they, did the best, most articulate emails, and they were spot on every time. No, it's not about that. Doesn't bother me, that stuff. It's those people that get up on stage, that take you on that journey, that make you laugh, that can make you cry, can get that emotion of the room and get you feeling something amazing. And they do that through the words they use and how they do it. It's what and the how they do things, and you see it and you feel it and you believe it. And this is a real big thing around leadership as well, is that you believe it. So how do I come across with my story? And that's something I'm working on as well in business, in life, because I don't think you'll ever be able to, unless you are open to the fact that you're progressing and you're working on something, you're not perfect. You're never going to get there if you're just going to say nothing about what you are learning and sharing that, because that's what inspires people as well. And one thing I'd love to do in years to come is one of my goals in life is to do a TED talk and get up on any stage with loads of people and just own a room. Now, I'm not talking like Tony Robbins style. I'm not getting to that degree, but I do want to own a room, because I love the energy that I have around people around me. I know I can have some fun, I can lead people, and I can lead high performance teams. I want to do that on a bigger scale with coaching. So anyway, that's something I'm working on. So I got back to, how do I measure success? So I measure success by living your life by your values. And I don't think that we value our values enough. And I think this because, like any personality profiling that you'll do, often some people will be a bit negative around things like that, because it's hard facing into ourselves. It's hard to change ourselves. It's hard to make a transformation. We know that some people say they want to be skinny or whatever. It's hard to do that. It's not easy, like all these fitness pros say. It isn't easy all the time. Let's get honest about this. And leading a team isn't easy. You have to have the steps that you need to get there. You can't just say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. You've got to know that you need to eat better. You need to exercise. You need to feel better. You need to take supplements, all of those types of things. You've got to do the steps on the way to get to that lose 10 pounds. So exactly the same with this, that when we're developing ourselves and wanting to change, and we've wanted to develop us to be better leaders, we want to be better mums, dads, partners, sisters, brothers, whatever those hats are. We want to be better in our business and develop more relationships in business so that we can get more growth, we get more leads, and we get more sales, and we get more money, all of that, and build a business. So we have to invest in ourselves. And when we live our lives to our values, part of that often comes in terms of investing in ourselves and our own development. So I know my values, that one of them is respect. It's a huge one for me. A massive one is family, health and fitness, giving back to others, and investing in my own personal development. There's a few of them. So when I'm not living my life according to those values, I find everything just goes to pot. It's a bit, I say this word meh, right? MEH. And I have those weeks where I just feel absolutely meh and naff and everything's off. And then I kind of get myself in that bad routine of, I'll start Monday, which is not what I want to do. So I have to recheck myself back to my values when I see myself doing those things, when I see myself taking action in that way, and my behaviours are that way. And this is about, going back to the start, that I wanted to have 6 leadership qualities that I possess, and that's shown from my behaviours and my actions. So that actually then stems on from more than just being a leader. It shows into a bit of those are almost my leadership qualities that I want for my way of life, right? I want to be honest as a person. I want to have empathy with all relationships. And this is where I say business is about relationships. I want to be a great listener with everybody in my life. I want to have energy and be passionate about every single thing that I do in my world, because it's probably going to mean something to me. That's why I'm doing it, and I'm going to get more from it if I'm passionate about it. I want to be authentic and genuine. I want to be transparent to people, and I want to show honesty, and I want to show when I'm having a crap day, and I want to show when I'm having an amazing time, and I want to inspire others with that as well. And I want to be humble. So it's not just about the leadership qualities, it becomes broader. So again, going back to the fact that looking at your personal development in the workspace or business capacity has so much more development in other areas of your life and ramifications. So I think go for it. What would I tell my younger self? Do what makes your heart sing, and be happy with what you have, and take risks, and seek to be different. But no, I would generally say do what makes your heart sing. Again, this stems back to probably a few years ago when I was kind of like, I got to 30 and I was like, wow. I mean, some people think it's at 40 as well, and 50, but I was like, I don't know what I want to do in my life. And I had this like awful moment of I just thinking like, what do I do? And yeah, I wanted to change a few things. So I got thinking about, well, what would I have done at 18? What could I have done? And yeah, so when people ask that question, I try and get it out there a lot more now as well when I work with younger people, like, don't wait for later on, like, take risks now, do it whilst you can, really think about and explore what are your values at that age. And I guess actually if there was something I'd have done when I was younger, it's probably to look more at I didn't know what values were at that age, and I would love to be sharing that more with people. So when I see people coaching in education, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's amazing because those tap into those questions, and then like habits and everything, and a way of being and life. Some kids I look at, I bought my niece a book for Christmas, and it was from a coach I know, Natalie Costa, who does coaching education, and she's done a book, and it's all around like being kind, self-love, and so I've got this as a book to do with my niece, because I think it's really important that they get in that mindset from a younger age nowadays. So I think if anything, I'd have loved to have done that as younger as well. And then with that, knowing that explore what you want to really do in life and what's true to you and makes your heart sing. Well, one thing what I tell people to do to live a happier life, I think it's to give back. And that's more than just, doing your affirmations and your gratitude, that, your 3 things you're grateful for each day. Actually physically go and volunteer, give back to others, give to charity every month. So I give to RSPCA every month because my auntie works for them, and I love animals. And I was over Christmas, I was quite taken aback by an advert. So it got me, again, a story, it got me. So, yeah, I think give to others. As you know, I'm a volunteer for Shout, which I have been for 18 months, and that's around mental health. It's a phenomenal thing to do, and it feels very selfish to say that you take a satisfaction and pleasure in a good way that you're giving back to others and helping others through, the stuff that they share sometimes around, thank you so much, you've helped me out with something where I was thinking some suicidal thoughts, or I was thinking that I don't want to be here anymore. To know that you've probably impacted someone's life in such a positive way, it feels really humbling, actually. And maybe that's helping me being that humble part in that kind of that leadership quality, is giving back. So yeah, and as Tony Robbins says, the secret to living is giving. What do I want to be known for? Well, that's all of these kind of skills and qualities that I'm sharing with you. And what one thing could people do to live a more purposeful life? So this got me, and I was like, it's the question I ask others, why is it getting me? But it does. And I was like, that's cool. I like the fact that it does that. So I think I had to go back and think about, right, what does purpose mean then? And purpose is about, for me, it's meaning, it's life. And living a purposeful life is like living life true to yourself and your core values, and to do what you love to do, and feeling that you've made a difference in some ways to your life and to others. So I think you have to set the intention when you want to live a purposeful life. You have to know what you want to do. You have to know how you want to be and how you want to show up. And again, almost what you want to be known for. That will help you live a more purposeful life. The ways you do that, I think, are to take more time to reflect. So a lot of my Fridays, I spend time just thinking about, how's my week gone? What went really well? Where did I show up really well? Where didn't I show up so well? What situations could I have been better? How could I have been a better sister? How could I have been a better, friend, daughter? How could a cousin, all of those types of things, how could I have been better? And then what am I going to do to make a shift there the next week or over time? What is it I need to change, and how do I need to be different in how I am? And then that enforces us to look at being proactive more in our behaviours and our actions, and then we take action. And the fact that I've put it in that kind of systematic, because I'm very structured, way, shows me that it is about taking action. And I'm huge on taking action in life, and I've said it about 4 times there, but let's be honest, repetition is the mother of learning. So whether you fail or succeed at something, everything is about learning. And I was working with one of my mentees earlier in the week, and he said, "Oh, I've had a move within the business, and I feel like I'm taking a step backwards." And I was like, "Whoa!" And because it's mentoring, I share experience. So the great questions can come in, but I don't get too worried to stick to a coaching model as such. And I was like, "Hang about there." I said, don't ever see anything you do in life or any situation in that you haven't learned something or taken something positive from it, because every single thing we do and every experience we encounter in life, we can take something from that is a positive. It just may be that it's like sometimes when people go on lots of different courses because they feel that's being productive, or they feel they're learning things and they need to do more of that. It's like, or reading loads of books thinking they're taking loads from it, or listen to podcasts, ironically, just because they feel productive. So I said, there'll be something you'll learn from it. And it might be that you have to learn that I didn't need to do that because actually I need to trust myself more. So I didn't need to go on that course because actually I know enough about first aid or whatever. I don't know, it's just coming to my mind then. Or I know enough about finance. I didn't need to do that course. I just felt I needed to because it was going to give me a bit more confidence because I was more competent in it. But actually I didn't need to do it. So that's learning. That trust yourself more, that you have got the skill set. So what actually then, if you're looking at A to B, what is the next step and what's going to build a bigger journey for you and step to develop your financial knowledge or, first aid knowledge, whatever it is. They're just examples. Strange examples that have come to my mind, but anyway. So never look at something that it's a failure and it's not good, because it is. And if we didn't fail, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't learn. And if we didn't fail, we wouldn't know when we succeed, right? So it's the same. It's like fear. Like we only fear for itself, and we have to go into that and understand what it means and face into those things. The same as we would with fear, we have to do the same with failure. So that's what I kind of think to those 5 questions. And I thought it's really interesting because it's made me then again resonate and reflect and think about, what have I done great this week? How have I not shown up so great? How am I really living life actually around the qualities, like I said, honesty, empathy, great listener, being patient, humble, energetic and authentic. And somebody again said to me in the week, this is where you take the chance to reflect. They said, "Oh, just be patient." And I was like, wow, what didn't I do there that wasn't patient? Like, how did I show patience to somebody? What was it? And this sometimes could be thought as overthinking, and sometimes it is, and I do that, I'm aware of that. But other times I think it's important because we don't reflect enough. We don't reflect enough in a proactive way to look at how can we better that performance or what we're going to do. So a little bit about me, and I know they say that you shouldn't share about you and coaching is about your client, and that's true, but our stories connect us, and we need to sometimes be more empowered and confident to share our story, and because that's what resonates with others, and what we do does. And even if we're sharing things about business or whatever to market ourselves as coaches or whatever we're doing in business or life, you have to share something and you have to engage people and resonate with them. And often when you think of the people that have been most inspiring to us in our lives, it isn't the fact that they've said, I did a really great email, or it isn't the fact that I've sat there and listened to the whole of their boring PowerPoint for 30 minutes. The ones that are inspiring are the people like Steve Jobs that can just jump on a stage and talk about something just because they're passionate about it without having to plan it. They don't need that PowerPoint. They're the people that take you on a journey. They're the people that take you from A to B. They're the people that make you feel empowered and that you can go and do exactly what they've done. People like Gary Vee, Lewis House, whoever those people are for you, Mel Robbins, anybody, it might be Tony Robbins, that they do something. They have something in their demeanor, their way of being, their personality and their character that is connecting you. So you need to kind of think about, how do you connect with others? But if you can't connect with yourself, you won't be able to connect with others. So that's why it's really important that you ask yourself these questions and you do focus on investing in yourself and the transformation you have with yourself. And that's why I say coaching isn't just sessions. So when people ring up and they just want kind of a session with me, I can do that, but I tend to work with, you wouldn't go to a fitness PT and have abs after 2 sessions. So why would you go to a coach and think that you can suddenly hit that goal within 2 sessions and transform your life in terms of achieving what you want to in your business? It could happen. I'm not going to say it can't. The art of the possible. But sometimes just bring a bit of reality and perspective to it and enjoy the process. So really random one today. Could be a little bit of a meh. It's not going to be a mere week for me. I'm going to have a really great week because my Mondays are about motivation and getting the energy for a great week. So I'm really happy and pleased to announce, as I did last week, that I've got a group program starting in April. So I am looking for 5 people who would love to work closely with myself to transform and build their coaching business. So if it sounds of interest to you or you're really struggling with something right now, just reach out to me and let me know. And I will try and help you the best I can. Let's just see what I can do to help you. I may not be able to, and I'll be honest and just say that. But I also may know someone that could help you. So reach out. And it's always just great to connect and network. I love doing that as well. If this has been of value to you, please share it or share your feedback and leave me a review. Either way as well. So make sure it's constructive. But I'm always open to feedback because that's how I grow. And as always, go take action, make an impact, and have a great day.